Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to Reality Check. Listen, if this is your first time here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Please, just one tap. Just give us one tap, please. We trying to get our subscribers up, y'all. We trying to get monetized on YouTube, and so it's only gonna happen if y'all hit the subscribe button. But again, welcome back to Reality Check. This week we're recapping Megan Thee Stallion's documentary, the In Her Words documentary. So I just invited a couple of friends. I got T and Coco from Cup of Conversation podcast. And then I have also my cousin Harrison. He's gonna join us. He's actually started his own podcast journey. So I'm super excited for him and to have him on Reality Check. So my thoughts on the documentary. I thought it was very well put together. I enjoy seeing the timeline of how she got started, the influence her mother had on her career, and then where she is now. And I appreciated her being so vulnerable and sharing her story and her side of things when it came to, Tory Lanez and her best friend and all these things, how she handled her mother's death, all of these things. I appreciated it because it's like we're always on the outside looking in, so we really don't get the full picture on social media. So I was glad that she invited us into her world a little bit. Also appreciated the production quality. Okay, the animations, I love the animation when she was telling her stories. Love the animations. Very on brand for her, knowing that she loves anime and that's her lane. I thought that was very smart, and very creative for them to use that. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was very well put together. So yeah. Let's go ahead and talk to some friends. I got Harrison up first. There we go. All right. Hey Harrison.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi,
Is
Tia.
is that your pup?
No, he's
That's
my
your friend's
friend.
dog?
Yeah, that's Mars.
Oh, my dog's sitting right here on the floor. But welcome to Reality Check, y'all. This is my little cousin Harrison. I'm so glad you're joining me.
Thank you.
Have you started off your podcast journey yet?
I'm in the midst of trying to start it off. Obviously, when you start something off, it goes a little bit slow, but
Yeah.
we're slowly but surely getting it off the ground. We filmed our first episode a couple of nights ago. Now we're just in the process of editing it and
Yeah.
getting it out there.
Okay. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So listen, on Reality Check, we just review like reality shows, movies, whatever really comes up. Last week we was talking about the election. So really whatever comes up. So this week I wanted to talk about the Megan Thee Stallion documentary. You got a chance to watch it last night?
I have been watching it.
Yeah.
It was watching it. I definitely had to kind of look at it in a different point of view because obviously prior to watching it, I did have preconceived notions about her due to her situation with, Nika, that being
Yeah.
my fave. But
Oh yeah.
I put that to the side in order to get to know who she is and get to know
Yeah.
who she is outside of Megan Thee Stallion and get to know, like she said, Megan Pete.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. I've always been a Megan Thee Stallion fan. I love Nicki too. I love both of them.
Yes.
But I appreciate that because a lot of people would just be like on one side and not really trying to understand the other side. So I'm glad you were able to put your How did you feel about the Nicki Minaj situation though?
So in general, it came out of nowhere, their situation, their falling out, because I knew that they weren't really on good terms anymore. However, seeing them go to blows like that, I think it spiraled out of control on both
Yeah,
ends. I
for
think there
sure.
was this taken on both ends that shouldn't have happened. And unfortunately, it was another case like a lot of female rap situations. They let fans and producers get in their head and pin them against one another. And
Right.
overall, it just ended. It was very unnecessary overall.
Yeah. That's how I felt too. And then when Nikki was talking about lying on your dead mama, when she was, I said, come on, Nikki, you ain't even have to say all of that. But I laughed. I felt bad for laughing because why would she say that? Oh my gosh. But okay, so let's get into the documentary. What were your so for me, the first thing that stood out to me was like the production. I really enjoyed how they used animations to like for the storytelling and stuff. I thought that was really on brand for her because she's into like anime and stuff like that.
I think what got me that kind of was shocking, but in a positive way, was that they had old footage of her. They had footage of her
Yeah.
from the 2010s. You know, Megan, she's been around for a minute, but she just started getting on the come up really, really like in 2018. So to see videos, quality videos at that, from that time period and even prior to like her
Yep.
at, you know, gas stations and everything, that was really cool to me. And like you said, the animation that they used, knowing that she is a big anime fan, and how they kind of incorporated that into the documentary, I thought was very, very intricate.
Yes. And then what else really stood out to me? That was kind of what stood out to me at first. So I want to get into like her story. I enjoy her telling her story about her mom, like how her mom was a rapper and stuff like that. What did you think about that?
I did not know prior to watching this much about her mom. I just knew that her mom had passed
Mhm.
away. I did not know that she did rap, and I thought that it was honestly sweet. Getting to see that was very warming because it's something that her and her mother shared together. It's something that they had in
Mhm.
common and that could bring them together. And seeing them have that type of relationship, it makes it very sad when you see like what happened. And it also makes you more understanding of what she goes through in a way.
Yeah. I can't imagine like losing my mom and then still having to be in the public eye and still having to show up and perform. I can't imagine.
I
And
can't
I don't want to imagine.
like thinking because moms, they teach you everything, you know. Like I know for a fact, my mother, everything I know, everything I've done,
Yeah.
I thank my mother for that, just
Yeah.
like Megan did in this documentary. So to lose the woman that taught you everything, I know for her had to be gut wrenching, but for her to be so
Mhm.
strong and 2 weeks later go out and perform in front of sold out shows and put on
Yeah.
her strongest face, but not only put on her stronger face, also incorporate her mother into her performances, showing like videos of her.
Mhm.
That was beautiful to me. I thought that was very, very cinematic, and I respect her for that. I think it was her
Yeah.
way of coping, and it just helped her out a lot.
Yeah. And I appreciate the vulnerability. Like I didn't expect to see her crying so much.
I didn't either. She definitely let her guard down because, you know, when you think of Megan Thee Stallion, you think of the dancing, you think of the
Yeah.
appeal, and you think of everything, just all these interesting, like, fun elements. You don't
Mhm.
think of raw sadness. You don't think of hardships. So when someone of her caliber puts their guard down and lets you know that, you know, they go through real life things as well, I think it's very, very noble of her. And then not only that, she lost her dad too. I've only
Yeah.
known him for, I think, because she said he got out when she was about 7, 8, and then he passed away when she was in high school. She didn't even have him in her life for a decade. So for her to be so honest about losing both of her parents during the time of her come up, especially, I applaud her for that. I very much applaud her for doing that.
Yeah, and her mom was the main one telling her what to do. It's like I kind of wonder like if her mom was still here, what type of stuff she would be like instructing her to do. I was
I,
wondering that while I was watching. I was like, I wonder what her mom would say.
that's what I think. Like, because obviously Hollywood is a trivial place,
Yeah.
and I do believe that if her mom was here, some of the unfortunate circumstances that she had to endure, I'm not going to say they wouldn't have happened, but I think that she would have been able to deal with them and swallow that pill easier had
Mhm.
her mother been there by her side.
I agree. I agree for sure. I think it would have definitely like softened the blows because I mean I realized okay, so like when everything was going down with the Tory Lane situation and stuff like that, I knew it was a lot on her, but you know, you don't get to see the behind the scenes.
Exactly.
So it's like I know her mom would have been there to comfort her and let her know like if all these people.
Because she did go, being a viewer, not only of the documentary, but also enduring it in real life.
Mhm.
It took her a lot during that time period. She got a lot of people accusing her of lying. She got a lot of people saying she deserved it. It was just so much trivial going on during that time.
Yeah.
So, a time period like that, you definitely would want your mom there. So, I do think
Yeah.
that if her mom was there, she would have been able to help her out more.
Yeah, and she did Well, she did admit to lying to Gail King, though. You saw that
She
part?
did. She did. She lied. She said that she didn't sleep with him anymore, and well, she
But
did.
my thing, I understand. I can understand why she lied. Cause why you even asking me about that, Gail?
Yeah, well, we know Gail King. She's been around for a minute. She like
She
Wendy Williams. They
messy.
like to get to the bottom of it. But I also feel like this is about what happened to me. It's not about my sexual
Yes.
escapades.
Cause that has
So,
nothing to do with it.
exactly. Whether or not I slept with him, that has nothing to do with your interview. So I
Exactly.
understand Megan's frustration with that. And honestly, if I were in her shoes, I would have lied as well. Because I'm still in court about this. If I tell the truth, I'm going to look bad. So I'm going to go ahead and
Exactly.
tell me a little white lie too, honestly.
It was really no way for her to go around that. Cause if she would have said no comment, people would have said something. She said no, people said she was lying. If she would have said yes, they would have called her a hoe. It's like it
Exactly.
you
She
can't
couldn't win for
win.
losing.
She
She
couldn't
had to
win either
basically,
way.
in that moment, she had to pick her poison, unfortunately.
Right.
And I do feel, as a woman, that Gail, she should have known that, and she shouldn't have put her in that predicament. I understand you want ratings and you want views for, your show, but you also got to think this is another woman that you're talking to. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
both have probably gone through hardships with men. Understand her a little bit. Don't try to embarrass her or disparage her all for the sake of views.
Yeah. Yeah, but Gail King don't care. She don't care. She gonna get to the bottom of it her way. So I guess it is what it is.
That's how
But
she figured.
yeah. But what was I finna ask? Relate her relationship with Kelsey. So I met Megan. She went to PV my freshman year. She was a freshman as well. So I met her briefly. Like it wasn't like I'm not on no like, ooh, I've been knowing Megan day one. Da, da, da. I'm not on that, but I did meet her briefly. We were both in this summer program at PV, and her and Kelsey were tight. So like to see their relationship turn out the way it did, I was just like, bro, that is unfortunate behind a misunderstanding.
I think a lot of that. So when I first heard about the Kelsey girl, it was kind of brought up in the media when it pertained to the whole Nicki Minaj situation. They were saying that Kelsey has something to do with some of Nicki's statements.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything of it.
Yeah.
And watching the documentary, what I feel is people let Hollywood and coming up and just overall coming up get in between such a solid friendship. And sometimes it's not the person coming up, it's the people around them. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's what it is, A lot of people they say they want to see you doing good, but in reality they don't want to see you doing better than them.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
good has to be equal. And I think that's why their relationship spiraled. Like the misunderstanding, yes, played a part in it, but also I think it was bound to happen. I Because if you guys were truly close and you guys were truly tight, y'all would still be tight to this day. But
Yeah.
clearly, one of you in your head didn't really care for the other, and
Mm-hmm.
saw that was Kelsey who did not care much for Megan, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I keep wondering. I'm like, oh, is it possible? I wasn't expecting to see so much footage of Kelsey. I didn't think that. So I'm like, oh, is this kind of like an olive branch to maybe rekindling? I don't know because we don't really know the details of everything that happened. But I
Exactly.
think it would be beautiful to see them possibly come back together in the future for sure.
And that's the thing, they were so close that no matter how many documentaries come out, no matter how many tweets come out, we'll never know the full length of their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll never
Mm-hmm.
know how much they really meant to one another. And I do believe that by showcasing her so much throughout your personal documentary, that is your way of saying, you know what, I'm still looking out for her. I still do love her because I believe Kelsey got paid for this, all her
Yeah.
appearances. So I think that in the future, Megan Pete, not Megan the Stallion, Megan Pete
Yeah.
would love to rekindle and rebuild that bond. Do I think they can rebuild it? I don't know because a lot of times when you go through something so tremendous, it's hard to just come back. Like with friendships and with relationships overall, there's definitely going to be cracks, but once it's broken, you can fix it a million times, but it'll never be the way it was the first time around.
Yeah.
And that's what I unfortunately think theirs will be. But maybe by some miracle they can get back to where they left off because, like you said, it was so small, and it just
Yeah. It seemed, well, from the outside looking in, it seemed small, like a misunderstanding, and that maybe egos got involved. And I think, like, put the pride to the side. Y'all were besties before anything. So
don't let your pride, like you said, don't let your pride, don't let your ego ruin something so strong. Because
yeah.
forget the fame, because the fame eventually you can't take that with you, but
That's true.
friendship with you.
Yeah. So last point. What did you think about the Tory Lane situation?
Oh my goodness. I feel when it pertains to Tori, it's just a lot to unpack. They were in a relationship, obviously.
Yeah.
The whole shooting thing, I still don't fully understand it. I don't really know where it came from. And how I feel is, as far as her going back and as far as her, sticking beside him on the low,
Mm.
I can't say like, I can't bash her for it because everybody knows we all got that one person where you know, it's gonna take a lot to get you away from them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she was going through. It's easy for us to bash her and belittle her and say like, oh, you should have got rid of him on the spot. But we got to put ourselves in her shoes. If you're really down bad about somebody, are you gonna leave them alone? No,
Yeah. So she went back after that incident?
I believe so.
Oh, I didn't know.
I don't think they really disclosed it in the documentary. However,
Yeah.
in my opinion, I believe she went back. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's too much history. It's too much there for her to just be like, screw you. You know?
Yeah. I wonder how that played out. I don't understand how it happened either, but I mean, they showed the x-rays, the bullet fragments in her feet. So, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, how did this happen?
I do feel bad because when it initially happened, I didn't think she was telling the full on truth. I didn't. I was like, something's not right. But I mean, with this documentary, she came with her receipts. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it to her. She came with her receipts. She came with footage. She came with X-rays. She came with everything.
The
Like
call between Kelsey
exactly.
and Tori.
I
So
felt.
I don't know. I don't know. I believe some. I don't know. It's still a gray area. And then he wasn't charged for actually shooting her. I think he was charged for having a gun. Maybe it just wasn't enough evidence. I don't know.
But that's the thing. All the evidence is right there. So I didn't. That doesn't make sense to me. Like for him to only get charged for one thing. I don't know how the judicial system works. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's just for her to have as much proof as she had in this documentary. She
Mhm.
had to have had this proof back then too, and I'm sure she
Mhm.
presented it.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know if maybe there's a settlement involved. I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know.
And then it could depend on, like the ballistics report for guns. You got to match the bullet with the gun. Maybe I don't know. I'm just glad that she's okay, but I mean, I don't know how to feel about the situation. They still calling her a liar online even after this documentary. Is she
They
not
are.
going? She can't beat that.
Unfortunately, the way things are, once people have one notion about you, they're gonna stand firm on it,
Mhm.
and that's what haters do. And she's gonna have a lot of those as she continues. Um, After watching this, I feel bad because in my little teenage years, I was immature, and I definitely did my fair share of picking on social media
Yeah.
because of who I'm a fan of. But you got to look at it as a human being. She goes through things just like the rest of us. She
Yeah.
endures hardships just like everybody else.
Mhm.
So don't judge her until you know her story, because
Yeah.
then once you know her story, things start to clear up.
Right. All right. Well, thank you, Harrison, for joining Reality Check. I'm so excited that you got on here tonight.
Thank you for having me. I do watch all the Housewives, the Basketball Wives,
Listen,
Love Island, the Baddies. So if you ever need me on, I'm here for all of those too. Married to
I gotta
Medicine,
I gotta get back on it. Did you watch the last season of Love Is Blind?
Love Is Blind. No, I did not watch the last
Do
season.
you watch that at all?
No, I did not.
That's a good one. You got to get on Love Is Blind. That's a good one. People be talking about. It's popular on TikTok too. But I'm watching Real Housewives of Potomac right now, but I just haven't done any videos on it.
Well, if you ever do and you need someone, I'm here because I
Of
tune in every Sunday.
course. Yeah, I'll let you know for sure. But thank you for joining. I'm gonna get my next guest on.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye,
All
everyone.
right, bye. We
I
finally got you
made,
in.
I made it. Never would have made. Okay.
Well, hey
Lord.
ladies, welcome to Reality Check. Y'all, we got T and Coco on the screen. I was gonna say in the building, but like y'all not in the building.
Right. Really
We
not
in a
even
building.
building.
Y'all
Right.
in a building. That is true. That is true. So basically, I just wanted to recap the Megan Thee Stallion documentary I got a chance to watch the other day, and I was really
Mhm.
feeling inspired. I was telling T earlier, I felt a little inspired after watching it.
Hmm.
So just wanted to talk about some of the things we saw. So what was y'all
Right.
initial thoughts when you saw it?
She been through a lot.
Man.
Like a lot. But I also thought like that's like I'm not gonna say the typical, but it's like very similar to a lot of our lives. We just didn't get to live it out in front of cameras.
Right.
Right.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think that's what I took from it. Like I just couldn't get over the fact that like how she explained like losing a parent. Like I was like, man, I just kept thinking about trying to put myself in her shoes, and then also putting myself in her shoes, but then not even knowing the reality of like the fame, the popularity,
Mhm.
that part of it. Like that's a whole nother part. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, like T said, we all went through it, but without the camera. So it's like it's 10 times worse. And then, it gave me some insight on how it looks for us to be talking about like celebrities to them when they actually going through something, and how
Yep.
we talk about stuff without really having the whole story a lot of
Right.
times. Like
Right.
we talk about it and just be taking bits and pieces. And it really hurt my feelings to like really go back and look at it from her lens, like about the different artists in the industry, like taking his side or
Mhm.
Hmm.
still, like bigging him up when she was going through such a situation that was it was black and white almost, like, like I
Right.
ain't
Yeah.
shoot myself, like, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
so it kind of hurt my feelings to know that, like, not that I ever really played a part in it, but like a lot of us did play a part in, like, like the not believing her, or or having a something to say about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it definitely like humanized her for real. To see her so like attached to her phone, checking comments, checking social media and stuff like that. I'm like, we all do the same thing. And
Hmm.
sometimes
Exactly.
people forget that celebrities are human too.
Right.
And that's what got me. I appreciated the vulnerability. Like I didn't expect to see her cry so much.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I
That's
did.
what got me. You did?
I did. When like just knowing like a lot of the stuff she been through, like we
Yeah.
could sit up there and talk about. When you get to talking about stuff like that, it's
Yeah.
kind of like a good vent, but it's also gonna bring up them emotions. I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. I appreciated her like showcasing it for us to see.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what did y'all think about her? I want to talk about her friendship with Kelsey. I was
Oh,
surprised to see as much footage of Kelsey that I saw. I felt like it's kind of like an olive branch to maybe them rekindling. I really hope they can rekindle. What y'all think about that?
I think it was just
Um,
to tell her side of the story, though. I don't know if
Yeah.
it was an olive branch because it looks to
I
me
about to say.
like that bridge is burnt. I thought letting a man come between your friendship, especially over something so like when you have to pick a side over something so detrimental.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So serious, yeah,
It's
that
so
was serious.
serious. It's mind blowing to me. Like over some of the little clips where she was like, "Oh, you fucked somebody behind me." I was like, "Is this your reasoning?
Right.
Is this what you telling me? Your reasoning is for going up there and saying you don't know nothing?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like that. That's
Yeah.
not girl code. That's not.
It's
And
not girl code at all.
that's one of the
Well,
things
I
that I
think
learned
both.
during that little Cause I always knew Kelsey's side, and cause I follow her on social media, and I went to school with, like we was talking about earlier. We might have been a PV at the same time. We just never crossed each other's path because
You went to PV?
at that same time, yeah. But
What?
I stayed with what I did is I thought I was grown. I stayed off campus, so
Oh, okay.
I didn't stay in the dorms with y'all. But I was always over there with my friends, like the girls that she hang with, Quinny and Azar. I mean Quinny and Darren. Them, they like from
Yeah.
my hometown. And I
The
just
ones that did the show with us, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
They was in a couple of her videos on
Yeah.
there too. I don't know they standing with her or what happened with that either, but like I just feel like the you know how you bond with people like that, and if you took a friend from PV or you took a friend from your college, you know, like that's a bond. Like I didn't think
Yeah.
that you would go get the big head over a bond and let something come through between the bond like that. That's kind of like something I couldn't fathom
Yeah.
in a
yeah.
friendship.
I think that I think both of them broke girl code. Because you don't sleep with your friend, you don't go back door your
Yeah, yeah,
friend.
yeah,
So we can't act like Megan good for. I mean, I know like
yeah.
we all know she was going through a lot of stuff, but if we gonna call a spade, both of the friends did something that wasn't girl code.
Yeah.
But will say is I feel like the truth should outweigh
Yes,
all of that. Our history should outweigh, but okay, you did me wrong, okay, but you doing something wrong, and then aside from Megan, like you did something on a stand, you risked your freedom. You get
exactly.
what I'm saying? That you
Yeah.
can't, you know what I'm saying for him. So you kind of took it a little bit too far. Like, okay, yeah, I did this or XYZ, and I honestly, I don't know the insides and the outs of it, but I feel like I don't think it was the extent of like you slept with my boyfriend type of thing. I think it
That's
Yeah.
was
what I
like
was finna say. Is it one
industry
of
type of.
them
Yeah, it was kind of one
somebody
of
I was
them we
messing
all
with? You know what I'm
a freak
saying?
off
This ain't no
almost.
off limits. Like you better not, cause we know them off limits niggas to our friends.
Yeah,
Now
Yeah.
I don't think it was one of them. I think
I can't even say I've slept with anybody that my friends slept with. Now I know one of my friends that did that like behind me, and I can't say why, but like
Wow.
what I can't say that was like if she was to get if we put ourselves in the same predicament and somebody had to
Yeah.
put me on the stand, that's not gonna trump that. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't nobody that I was with anyway. Like you know you didn't care about that much. So did it? That's why I was like, is that your reasoning?
oh, I'm like, okay.
Is that
Yeah.
your reasoning
I'm
for you to
I
thinking
go
it's a
get
past
it.
pillow.
that?
I thought that was a pillow movement. Okay, my bad.
You thought it was what?
A pillow movement. I'm like, say that's why I was looking like that, but it's an animal. It's a dog,
Oh, my
right?
dog. Yeah, that's what you was
Okay.
looking at.
Yes, I'm like, is it
I didn't
moving?
even see the dog.
He on the
It
floor
went
now.
from
He
looking like
chilling.
a pillow to then it was moving. I'm like, okay.
Like, what's
But
really
no,
going on?
No,
yes,
for real.
but I agree. Like I think I don't even think it was that serious, and like we can't be the ones. And then like we said, watching it, looking on the
Yeah.
outside in, we
Exactly.
can't be the ones to say what was serious to her versus what wasn't serious to her. But I don't think it would. It should have been okay. Yeah, I'm not really fooling with you no more because of what you did. But I'm gonna go on and stand and clear your name, his name, or who my name,
I'm just
whoever
gonna do the
name.
truth.
I'm gonna just
Yeah.
tell the truth. Like
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
go up
gonna
there and tell
take
the truth.
no. Because ultimately, although she slept with your man, he slept with her too. So it wasn't like she raped him.
Right.
So you gonna be mad at me? You not gonna be mad at him though? Cause he ain't say no. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Ding 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 ding. Ding.
Do y'all think it was a case of her just not wanting to she felt uncomfortable or like she didn't want to get involved or like
who? Megan?
Kelsey, like for her to get on the stand and say that she don't remember stuff.
No, you were involved when you were in the car. You became involved when you got
Exactly.
involved. Like you
It
can't
was
pull yourself
no.
out of you can't uninvolve
You were in
yourself.
the arrest. Y'all was all arrested together. Like you were.
Yeah,
It's
you was
no not
outside the
involved
car
in that.
like this.
Like
You are involved, so get on the
it's
Yeah.
stand and
four
talk.
people: the driver, Tori, you, Megan. It's that. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
She would
The
have done
only
better doing like the bodyguard and just getting ghosts.
yeah, she would have no for real.
You
Yeah.
know?
That's crazy how he just went ghost like that. I'm like, bro, that's
Yeah.
insane.
That's crazy.
Now
But
I will say maybe that's
but
why she was scared. Cause how somebody just come up missing. Maybe she was scared
that's
for
what I was
real.
saying. Like she,
I don't
it could be
know.
like a safety thing. She think her life
Yeah.
at risk if she do tell. Like I'm just trying to look at all avenues, but I can
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
like it's still not right though.
Because at the end of the day, she's not the Megan Thee Stallion, so she ain't gonna have the same warranted protection and
Exactly.
every day. Like she
Yeah.
could very much be the bodyguard one
But
day.
you
Like
know what I go
Exactly.
back to, y'all? Go ahead, Tier. I'm sorry. I don't mean to
No,
cut
I
you
just
off.
said exactly. Go ahead.
No, well, I go back to. I just feel like even though you were not warranted that same protection you probably thought, but I feel like just knowing being the closest person to Megan, especially after her mom passed, and you being that like step in type of person, like
Yeah.
I felt like with with that information only would have been enough for me to be like, okay, I gotta really put this aside. Like I know Megan don't have I if anybody know Megan, I know her. If nobody knows she ain't got nobody, I know she don't got nobody because I'm the somebody she got because she don't got nobody. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I just
right,
feel like with knowing that, like I would never do that to like nobody that I call my friend for real.
Right.
Like I'm gonna have to get over it because my conscience gonna eat me up. Like, damn, your mama really left you in my hands, type of thing. Like,
yeah,
I'm about
Yeah.
to just leave you like this, or I'm not gonna say nothing. Like, I don't know. I don't. I feel like even with the whole protection thing, I don't think it would have been nothing for her to come to Megan and be like, "Look, I'm scared. Like, I want to tell the truth, but
yeah.
I'm scared. Like,
You
what we gonna do?
communicate that.
Yeah, let's game plan." And I'm sure Megan would have been like, "Look, okay, this is what we gonna do X, Y, Z." You know what I'm saying? Like, your
Yeah.
people is my people. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like in the
I
moment,
really
and I
hope she didn't remember. Now that I think about it, because
Right.
I'm
yeah, I
just
don't think
hoping you wasn't like that. I'm
I
hoping you
think
didn't
she
take that
was like
route.
that.
Oh, that's well, but showing what her doing like little deals with Nikki and like stuff like that. That furthermore shows she is
That's what I'm
like that.
saying. Now you want to take it a step further?
Yes,
Like
that
that stuff
furthermore
I can
shows.
understand being uncomfortable on the stand or whatever. But like you said, Coco, they should have had a conversation. Look, this what I'm finna go up here like I don't know nothing. Let me just let you know right
Hmm.
now. But for you to take it a step further and link up with somebody that you know that's against me, that's
You
what
trying to hurt me?
I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, she went way too far. It was already too far getting on the stand and saying that.
yeah.
But then you want to take it a step further. That's why like I don't know. I hate to see that their relationship turned out like that though.
Me too.
Yeah,
I
I
think
hate
we
that.
can agree girl
Yeah,
code was broken.
Yeah, it was for sure.
yeah, yeah. I think so too. I also I just think that her mom left at a point of her life where it was kind of like you don't know how to make the best decisions all the time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Like
yeah,
I feel like maybe like now, if her mama would have left in her career now, we probably would have been like, I mean, no time is a time for your parents to just down,
right.
you know, out of the blue, especially like no time is a good time. But I just feel like at that time, like just looking back at the timing that it happened, it just wasn't a
Hmm.
good time.
Yeah.
Especially like just being a mature person and saying this is how we gonna handle this situation. I don't think she was in the space to even do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Dang, man. Only reason I said I think it seemed like it not an olive branch like we finna rekindle and be bestie bestie, but like
hmm
an olive branch like I'm at peace with it. I don't have no beef with you no more.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect this to see like all the footage of Kelsey that they showed, like her own personal videos that she recorded, that Kelsey recorded. I just feel like
Hmm.
maybe this is like part of her healing journey and maybe she's trying to like let bygones be bygones. Maybe I'm just being hopeful though.
Yeah.
yeah, because you know what I
Coco
thought.
looking at me like, baby,
No,
no.
I listen. This how petty I am though. I guess this is the pettiness in me that God still got to work on. Cause I was thinking about it like this. I was like, oh, she put this in the documentary to kind of be like, and bitch, I'm using this and I'm making money off this, and I don't
Oh,
care. Like,
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that.
and yeah, you in the documentary because I'm about to tell them
Hmm.
my side of the story, and I got a platform, and I'm getting money. Like that's how I look.
And that mug was number one.
Man,
Number one
it
on
was really
Amazon.
good. So, what did y'all think about her admitting that she lied to Gail King?
I didn't think nothing of it. I feel like
I
Me
that's
didn't
either.
what all of
either.
the artists do. I feel like people sit in
Why would
front
you
of our
be
face
going
and
out
say
there
they don't
telling
be dating people all the time or they don't.
exactly?
And I
And then
think it
they
was
end
out of
up with
line.
somebody who end up with a baby or
Yeah,
with
Right.
you know.
I think it
I
I
was
didn't
out
didn't
of
have a
line for
problem with
Kim.
it.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with her line. I feel like it was out of line for Gil to ask her that though, because I feel like,
I get why Gail asked her that as an interviewer to give the situation some context.
hmm
Like what could y'all have been arguing about? And since because you know how vague they be, especially celebrities in interviews, you know how vague they be with stuff like,
right.
oh, we were just having a disagreement. We were all arguing about what?
Yeah.
So let's talk about what brought
hmm
you three together. Why you three are friends, or like what? How did y'all all end up in one car that night?
I feel like Megan should have just been like, "Now you in my business, don't do that." Like I wish she would
Yeah.
have just,
Or
Play it
instead of
off.
something?
lying about it, I wish she just would have. I mean, people lie. That's her prerogative. But I feel like it would have been it would have looked better for her to say, "I didn't say yes" or "I didn't say no."
Yeah,
Right.
So
But I understand it like T was saying, I understand it from like a business standpoint. As an interviewer, you gotta ask. But from a human standpoint, I was like, bro, what that even gotta do with the situation we talking about?
exactly,
That don't got
I
nothing to
exactly.
think
do with me getting shot.
At
exactly, but I
all.
think that just goes to show the lack of protection that black women have. I think that
Yeah,
question shows.
Mm,
I feel like the reason I say it was out of line is because she was another black woman. So it's almost kind of like victim blaming. Like,
yeah.
oh, did you
And you
get
knew
shot
what was gonna take
because
over the interview.
right,
yeah,
exactly. So I feel like in that moment, being an older black woman, she should have protected her in that moment. And I feel like that was a way to show that I'm here for what they here for. I'm here for the tea. I'm here for the coin. And so some stuff, yeah, you got to be here for the tea because it's like T said, it's business. But sometimes you have to know where to draw the line because Gail King, we don't know. People been saying you sleeping with Oprah. People been saying, you know what I'm saying, like, and you ain't never spoke up on your
yeah,
situation, so you know how it feels to be lied on or told the truth on. We don't know if it's true or not. So I feel like
Right.
just as an older, like almost kind of like mother figure, you should have protected her in that moment and stuck to what it was about, her being shot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because on the
yeah.
stand, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what they want to know. Did you shoot her or did you not? Like,
Right.
Right.
I not it. Well, I guess they probably asked that stuff in court too, though. But Gail King, she known to do that. I think she did something like that when Kobe Bryant died. It
mm,
had said
Mm-hmm.
something shady, and I'm like, this man dead and gone. You really wrong for that, like for
yeah.
real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some stuff gotta be, you gotta have some, what is called decorum.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
gotta you gotta
you
know when
do.
to say, okay, I'm not gonna be the one. It's enough people gonna ask that question. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't
yeah.
Exactly.
have to be that one.
Exactly.
I didn't look at
The
her and
internet is already asking that question in the comments. You're gonna go repeat something like that.
right.
Mhm.
And if she would have done her research, didn't they say that she told that on the stand? Yes, that she did. She told the truth on the stand.
Yeah, she told the truth on the stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess she just wanted to
Right.
know to hear, like,
She
you know what
wanted
I'm
us to
saying?
know the truth.
Right.
Right.
So
Okay. Was there anything else that stood out to y'all? That was the main things for me.
yeah.
um, yeah, that was the main things. I ain't gonna say I blame Megan though for lying. I
I
mean,
don't either.
why
I would have
you get
lied
up in
because
front of all these people and tell about who you done slept with? And like that ain't nobody business.
and honestly, if she would have told the truth, they still would have talked about
It
her.
would have been the
If
same
she lied, they talked
reaction.
about her. If she said she ain't want to answer, they would have talked about it. So she chose to lie.
So I got one question. Do y'all feel like do y'all feel like she honestly has anybody in her corner right now for real, for real? Like, because now that we think about it, like Kelsey gone, she was supposed to be the replacement for her mom. Well, not replacement. I don't want to act like she just wasn't her friend before that, but
Right.
the
Yeah.
only person that you knew, it's almost kind of like when you go big, you kind of want to have the people that was there with you before you ever had anything. So
Mhm.
I just that's what I did take away from it. Like, dang, I wonder, do she really have anybody? Like, I was thinking about the manager T Ferris, right? That's his
Mhm.
name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where he come from? Y'all know where he came from? Was he
I have
always
no idea.
around?
I've never
I
seen
think
him
he came
before.
from 300. I mean, 300. Six,
15,
1500. Yeah, 1501, whatever it
15,
is.
yeah.
One of them hundreds.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. She would a lot of 300, 600, 1501.
okay.
But yeah, I
I
think that's
just
where he came from.
okay. I just that's what I just kind of still took from it. Like even once it ended, I was like, okay, so like who is the core now? Who is that core group now? Like, do you
She
really have
showed her
somebody?
cousin. She showed her cousin. I didn't. I had never seen her cousin before.
Yeah.
I that Coco's stupid. I don't like you. I don't think it's nobody. I mean, her cousin. I feel like that might have been somebody she like kept in touch with, but like that's.
Yeah, it wasn't
your
a
fall guy
real
or
type.
something. Like
Yeah.
it's like
That's just that last piece of
yeah,
blood almost kind of
yeah.
like. I mean, I'm not taking
Or
nothing
it's
from.
no, it's like that one person like that just supports you always
Yeah.
supports you, and like once you in that mode and you cut off a lot of people and you have very few people to talk to, they still sending them supportive messages, motivate.
Mhm.
That might
Yeah.
be her, and she probably just started leaning into that. Like,
Yeah.
let me
Yeah,
see
and
if
I
we could
don't
be
think. I
closer.
guess when I think about like core people too, I'm thinking about somebody that can make an impact. And I feel like the cousin. I mean, and you my blood cousin, and I have you, but in Megan's world, where would she fit and make an impact? I didn't see that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like
I get
make
what you're
the.
saying.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like that's the part that I'm like, dang. So like when it really gets down to like business, like cousin gonna be there at the house, but she not gonna be in the boardroom. You know what I'm saying? Or she not gonna
right,
be
right,
Yeah.
right,
At the
to make
shows and
sure.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, almost
right, right,
looking over the contracts. Like she really don't have nobody like that. Like somebody that really got her back. Like her mama was, I guess. I
Yeah.
mean, and sometimes even when people have parents that pass, at least still have like that
grandma,
grandma, that strong
somebody.
auntie that was that was
Yeah,
my sister child. Like what? Cause
yeah.
you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like you don't even got that. Like so yeah, that's what I went away like like having a like my heart hurt for her because she don't have that.
And she
I
don't
do
have a
have one
daddy.
question. Yeah,
Mhm.
that too. She don't have neither parent, which is crazy.
Yeah.
A grandma
Mhm.
either. But I had a question. Did y'all think, speaking of like lying and stuff, did y'all think it was necessary for her to lie? She explained more that she lied initially because of the whole George Floyd stuff and the climate that black people were just in at that time. It was scary how they was already pulling up guns drawn, yada yada yada. So do y'all
Mm.
think like it was necessary for her to lie in that point, like in the beginning?
Like to the police.
Yeah, about it being glass shattered until the doctors
I
said
can
that
I
under
it couldn't have been
I
glass.
understand I understand being scared, and this somebody you did care about, even though he just probably did some messed up stuff to you, you probably still care about him, so you don't want to see him get shot.
Right.
So I get it. I can understand.
I
Did
do
it
too
help her? I don't
because
think it helped her, but you know.
Yeah.
right. I think first of all they was drunk. I feel like a lot played into it. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of one of them things where because even still like Megan never did ultimately press charges on him.
No,
And
it was
that's
the
what a
state
lot of
of
people don't
California.
know. And
Right.
so I feel like it could have been one of them things like a crazy drunk night. This is what happened. Like it went too far type of thing. If we could have got away with us getting back in the car and just going to the hospital and or just getting medical attention at home or some type of thing, or I don't know. I feel like it would have been that type of thing. And I feel like maybe she probably wouldn't have talked to him like talking about it no more. But I feel like it wouldn't have got as big as this. I feel like that
Right.
if they
Yeah.
could have
It'd have been some
controlled it.
trauma.
Right. I feel like if they would have controlled it on the inside and they were almost kinda like if we was to go out and something happened and say who we know,
Somebody got a
Fave or
warrant.
somebody, you know what I'm saying? He gets drunk and he like, man, get the fucking car, bye. And then the gun go off and then he like hit somebody, but it don't hurt nobody for real, like,
Yeah.
or it don't kill nobody. We all like, man, we ain't fucking with that nigga no more. But ain't nobody gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
know if that
I get
makes
what you're
sense.
saying. I get what you're
Ain't
saying.
nobody gonna be like, oh, call the police, get him locked
Yeah,
up.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Like, cause we
Nobody's thinking that in the moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
like whole
Especially as
time,
black people, we don't think that initially. Call the
no.
police, get them
Uh,
like that. That's not us. That's just not
Yeah,
really
no,
our
like even
thing.
you get beat up by your baby daddy sometimes people don't be like, oh, I'm gonna call the
Yeah.
police. They kind of like put up with it and just lock him out, keep,
Or if they do,
change the
when the police
locks.
get there, they lie, and the police
They
can't do nothing.
lie, right? So I
yeah.
think it was
Now they
one of
done
them
changed
things
their
like
mind.
we just friends, we drunk tonight, this happened. I
Yes,
feel like if they
yes,
wouldn't have been celebrities, they probably would have. Nobody probably would have went to jail. I feel like just
Yeah.
because the situation, I feel like that's the only reason. So I don't blame her for like lying. It's almost kind of just like looking out for your person.
yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like too. I thought the same thing. Like I just didn't see everybody. I feel like everybody on the internet just was like that. Oh, that's the main. Like everybody wanted her to be lying so bad. Like oh, that's the main
Yeah.
reason. That's she lied on this. She lied about like they just wanted her to be lying. But like her setting it up in that timeline made more of a logical
Yes.
sense and putting some more context to it. Like we need to stop acting like everything is just so black and white. She put a little
Mm-hmm.
more context to it. um, let us know like, hey, this was around the time that I didn't even put two and two together. I didn't know that was around that time. Like, and I'm sure a lot of people on the internet don't either because it was years later. Like, so
Yeah.
I don't even know why it was so hard to believe. And that goes back to what Coco said earlier. It's hard for Black women to have that protection because it's so hard for people to even believe us in the beginning. Like,
Which
Mm-hmm.
that's what's
well, what did you
crazy.
do first?
Right. Like when we first heard about it, the first thing was like, oh, that'd be lying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God,
by,
dog, y'all
by
didn't
so
even
many
know. We
people.
didn't even know all the details. It just went straight to she lying. That ain't true. I don't believe her. And
She
I'm like,
trying to
and
take a
just
black man down whole time. It's crazy because our first instinct be to protect black men. Like even
yeah,
if
She
we hurt, like you, I've
she
been shot
lied
and I'm
originally
still
for him.
exactly. I'm down with a bullet in my foot and I'm lying for you still. Like that's our first instinct.
no,
And then the
yeah.
first time they be like, "Oh, you lying? Oh, you trying to bring a nigga down? You trying to bring a black man down?" Like
He brought himself.
really?
He brought me down. I literally fell because he shot me in the foot.
Exactly. Like, very
But no,
literally.
for real, literally, you brought me down to my face on the ground.
Dang,
But can we
bro.
be funny real quick? She
Yes, we
did do
can.
that. The animations was a little bit.
I enjoyed the. Hold on, hold on, hold
No,
on, hold
I
on.
liked them, but her crawling on the floor
Her
like that.
crawling was
I was
dramatic.
like,
She better not have
Megan,
been crawling on that street like that.
Megan, did you really crawl? Did you really crawl?
So you think she added a little extra on the
She put
animations
a
to
little
make
A
10
it?
on two. She put
sauce.
a little 10 on two. I ain't mad at her though.
A
I ain't
little
mad.
sauce.
I would have done the same thing, but I'm just
And
saying
her
I
Exactly.
noticed that.
her cartoon character was sick. I was like, dang,
What
she
they
actually
say gets the
deserved.
people going.
It gets the people going.
It gets
Exactly.
the people going.
It definitely
I did
gave
like the
dramatic
animation
effect.
touch though. I
No,
like
that
that.
Yes.
was.
That
Cause
was
that's
that
so
was
on brand. That's so on brand for her because she love
Yes.
exactly.
anime.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Exactly. People got to
Yeah.
understand the brands and how you got to be on brand
Yes.
all the time. Like,
Yes.
even when you everything,
Make it
just
make sense.
everything. Yes, make
Yeah.
it make beautiful sense. I think that's why it went together so good.
Yeah.
She
It
All
just
did
made
that.
right.
She
sense.
did good.
She really did.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining Reality Check. That was
Of
good combo.
course.
That was 20. What did it say? 26 minutes.
Mhm.
Okay, good 26,
That was a
30.
good 26. But okay. Well,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you, ladies, for joining. I'm gonna try to have it uploaded soon.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Oh, this
Thank
not
appreciate y'all.
live?
Oh, this is y'all shout y'all podcast out, please, really quick before we
Oh,
get off.
we crazy.
Good.
That's
Yeah.
insane. Y'all follow us, Cup of Conversation underscore on YouTube, Cup of Conversation with Coco and T.
All
Yes, yes.
right. But yeah,
Bye.
Coco, it's not live. I'm pre-recording, then I'm gonna upload.
Okay, this cute. Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All
But I'll
right.
talk to
Thank you
y'all
for having
later.
us.
All
All
Alrighty.
right.
right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Reality Check. Shout out to T, Coco, and Harrison for joining me for this week's episode. Really had some great conversations, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Don't forget again to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on so you don't miss any new episodes. Listen, I'm dropping reality checks. Oksana's dropping her fashion content. We're doing vlogs. We really just out here being creative. We really out here being creative. Easy on me, pod. We gonna get back to it. We gonna get back to it, y'all. But we just out here living life, and creating freely. But that's all I have for now, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Get some in now, let your edge out. To some iceberg, you'll be heavy in my mind. Can you get the heck out? I need rest now, got me one.